They found the team fight, and now they have 3 Drakes and are looking to take control over this final game. The 2-man Baron is going on right now. EDG have no idea.
Yeah, and Damwon can throw down the ultimate from the Ziggs. The Baron's still going down.
This is the World Finals, and they're sneaking it with 2 people.
Biding their time,
They
waiting
don't know
for
where
their
he is.
opportunity as Mako goes in, pops immediately like a balloon, but Canyon going to follow, so Flandre gets exhausted, and Khan now trying to continue this fight, some low health bars as the flash comes forward, Khan goes golden.
If an Aphelios has an Ocean Soul, it's like you add a Bloodthirster on steroids to an already ridiculously powerful damage dealer against a composition that does not have that.
A Viper is still alive though, flashes in, Showmaker down to 200, he's a sitting duck, and it's a double kill for Scout. Now he's flashing forward, picking up all of the summoner spells, and it is good night for Ghost and an ace for EDG.
Before we get into the video, I want to remind you guys that Every Second Counts is brought to you by Cisco, powering the future of esports. Now, on paper, EDG was supposed to go deep at Worlds 2021. They were the LPL's first seed, but many were surprised to see them in the grand finals against the defending world champions Damwon. Part of that is because in their previous 5 appearances at Worlds, EDG had never made it past the quarterfinals. But in Game 1 of the Grand Finals, EDG showed that they were ready to get creative to beat the expectations.
In the opening of the day, we were looking at, wow, this team is so easy to predict. All these Graves picks, all these Jarvan picks, all these Rise picks. Yes, exactly. They stick with those Vedius, and yet they also take 1 page out of the T1 book, the zillion that they showed, to further complement what was already a strength of the team.
By the end of Game 3 though, it looked like that win was just a fluke. Damwon turned a corner, and now everyone was expecting them to repeat their 2020 win in 4 games.
Did they really lose 1 game to give fans false hope?
It does seem like it.
Oh, it's coming true. Honestly though, Damwon have been so good this entire year, last year as well, so dominant.
Khan, Damwon's top laner, was set to retire, and he refused to be denied a world championship in his last career game. So while EDG made it further than ever, it seemed pretty clear that Damwon was going to smash them. But that isn't what happened. Instead, EDG stormed back to give viewers the best grand final series in Worlds history. And in Game 5, with everything on the line, a wild 2-minute sequence determined which team would hoist the Summoner's Cup and which team would return home with only regret. With no crowd in attendance, Damwon pulled off an unlikely play that would have been almost impossible under normal circumstances. A Baron sneak 27 minutes into Game 5 of a World's Grand Final.
Wait, the 2-man Baron is going on right now. EDG have no idea.
Yeah, and Damwon can throw down the ultimate from the Ziggs. The Baron's still going down.
This is the World Finals, and they're sneaking it with 2 people.
Just 2 minutes during a close Game 5 determined world champions. That incredible Baron sneak and then a furious fight around Dragon changed history. But how did we get to this point? The draft for Game 5 was focused on the jungle, with both teams picking their side lane champions before round 2 of bans.
I actually like going for mid lane pick here and saving for jungle counter for EDG, because if Damwon go for the Xin pick, then you can play the Trundle into it and use the Pillar. So it's really effective against Xin, because Pillar, there's no escapes for Xin, and with a low cooldown ability, you can oftentimes put him in really bad spots where he has to burn ultimate or even a summoner spell. And Damwon don't take the bait. They see it coming a mile away. They're not going to fall into it. They take the Trundle themselves.
In the end, with 5 bans narrowing the jungle selection, JJ played Xin Zhao into Canyon's Trundle, a pretty bad matchup, so targeting JJ made sense. JJ outmaneuvered Canyon in the early minutes of Game 4, and even in earlier games where his impact was more contained, JJ was an important part of EDG's overall game plan.
But I do think that when we talk about JJ, we're going to have to look at him in the context of the whole series. I do think that he overall has had a an incredible performance. Throughout the series, he's had a 90% kill participation. Things happen when he is here. He is the cornerstone of what makes EDG action happen.
But because Damwon focused their bans on shutting JJ down, EDG managed to pick up a trump card, a first pick Aphelios for Viper, and they knew exactly what he was capable of with that champion.
Flandre about to turn mega, keep your eyes on him. TN goes for the 1v1. Hero's entrance in to try and protect the jungler as well. Jumpy on the backline, in comes Flandre, but the stopwatch has come on through. Flandre with a huge Nara ultimate, maybe this is it, but FBX still firing out. In goes Viper, turning it around. No way!
What? How does Viper do it?
Still, despite the change in drafting strategy for Game 5, the mid-game looked pretty similar to the rest of the series. The gold was close, and with no early lead to exploit, objective control became a big factor.
To be honest, I feel like that if you could describe the series, it would be a 2K gold lead. That just goes to show how close both these teams are. EDG have been ever so slightly ahead in a lot of early games in terms of the gold, but Damwon have done a great job of keeping even.
That was good news for EDG. Although they gave up the first dragon and 2 Rift Heralds, they were able to grab 3 dragons for themselves before the 24-minute mark.
They found the team fight, and now they have 3 Drakes and are looking to take control over this final game.
That left EDG 1 dragon away from Ocean Soul, a powerful health regeneration buff that had the potential to seal away the game. At the very least, it would mean a very difficult fight to the finish for Damwon. In the moments before the dragon spawned, EDG and Damwon clashed in the mid lane.
Everything now riding on the Kennen, since the supports have traded their ults already, and Beryl has to flash as well.
Yeah, he's out of position. Flandre underneath this turret, desperate for it, but doesn't quite calculate effectively.
As Beryl limped away from a fight that should have killed him, it seemed like Damwon had to reset and get ready to contest the Ocean Drake, but instead, Khan and Canyon crept towards Baron Pit as EDG pushed the mid tower. With the rest of Damwon posturing in the mid lane, they worked quietly to finish the job.
Wait, the 2-man Baron is going on right now. EDG have no idea.
Yeah, and Damwon here can throw down the ultimate from the Ziggs. The Baron's still going down.
This is the World Finals, and they're sneaking it with 2 people!
Mako arrived just as Nasha fell. Had he been there a bit earlier, it might have been possible to contest it. And without the roar of 1,000-strong crowd, the kind that even ear protection can't stop you from feeling, there was no hint that Damwon was up to something sneaky. Faced with this incredible play, EDG should have been worried. Typically, killing Baron with your entire team alive at 27 minutes means you get to take some initiative. You can push down some towers or potentially inhibitors depending on the state of the map and the enemy team. But Damwon didn't find themselves in a typical situation. That Baron didn't even guarantee them an advantage on the map. Their lanes were already shoved in and would take time to push out. So instead, they had to fight for their lives in a fateful confrontation around the Dragon Pit as EDG closed in on Ocean Soul. Effectively, all Damwon did was prevent EDG from taking Baron if they won the upcoming fight at Dragon. Sure, Baron buff grants a minor damage increase, but Damwon's incredible play wasn't going to win the game outright. Meanwhile, if Damwon allowed EDG to get Ocean Soul, it was very likely that the game would spiral out of control, and so they moved towards the impending Ocean Drake, hoping to win the fight that would decide the entire tournament.
It's Damwon Kia, they're still biding their time,
They
waiting
don't know
for
where
their
he is.
opportunity as Mako goes in, pops immediately like a balloon, but Canyon going to follow, so Flandre gets exhausted, and Khan now trying to continue this fight, some low health bars as the flash comes forward, Khan goes golden. Viper is still alive though, flashes in, Showmaker down to 200, he's a sitting duck, and it's a double kill for Scout. Now he's flashing forward, picking up all of the summoner spells, and it is good night for Ghost and an ace for EDG.
This is the team fight that decided the World Championship, so let's break it down second by second. After some early posturing from Khan, EDG was able to get into position. Damwon, on the other hand, didn't have much vision in the area, but the Korean team didn't have to make the first move. Mako's Rakan dashed out of the dark and into the group Damwon frontline, knocking up 3 and giving Flandre an opening to engage with Kennen's slicing Maelstrom. Even though he was killed by Showmaker before his targets hit the ground, Mako's sacrifice was not in vain. EDG sensed their moment. And Viper, playing Aphelios, put Canyon down. Now, without their jungler and his smite, the best way for Damwon to control the dragon was simply to win the team fight. As Beryl tried to escape, Viper followed to confirm the kill while the rest of EDG stood their ground against the remaining Damwon players. JJ secured the Ocean Drake and Khan pounced on him, but Viper finished off Beryl that same moment.
You know, Mako and JJ going in to die. But basically what they're doing is they're going in to soak cooldowns. You look at Damwon's team comp, it's all about playing around 10 seconds, 12 seconds of certain specific cooldowns that can really dictate a team fight. And every single one of them that they get is extremely valuable.
Turning back into the fight, Viper had one thing on his mind. His support gave them the engage they needed. His jungler killed the dragon before he died. Now with Kennen's burst already expended, it was on Viper to win the fight. If they lost here, if they were all wiped out, 3 Damwon members would have Baron buff and 90 seconds to use it. Death timers were long, and EDG would have a hard time defending against Damwon's siege. So, with his ult down, Viper went all in. He flashed forward.
Viper is still alive though, flashes in, Showmaker down to 200, he's a sitting duck, and it's a double kill for Scout. Now he's flashing forward, picking up all of the summoner spells, and it is good night for Ghost and an ace for EDG.
The fact that when Viper then goes in to kill everyone and like flashes forward and makes the, you know, the big man play, that is after so many of these buttons are on cooldown. And what it says to me is that EDG, even in a game 5 of a world championship, are still communicating extremely crisply.
It was an eerie callback to the LPL Summer Finals, where Viper's decision to flash forward helped win the series. Viper wiped out Damwon with a triple kill, taking their Baron buff with them. The game didn't end instantly, but now with Ocean Soul, a 3.5k gold lead, and a big edge in vision, EDG had what they needed to win.
And then JJ, Viper, and Mako are kind of like rotating between top and mid, making sure that this vision stays cleared out. And the moment Damwon tried to enter, this is where they're at most danger.
Beautiful vision toggle by the observers. Really conveys the sense of dread, the dread that Damwon are feeling, trying to walk in here, trying to look for an opportunity to get back into this game.
If an Aphelios has an Ocean Soul, it's like you add a Bloodthirster on steroids to an already ridiculously powerful damage dealer against a composition that does not have that. And he's never going to be in range of Showmaker if he's playing well, right? And I think that Showmaker was the only one that could actually one-shot him if he lands a combo. That's the only thing he needs to worry about.
Even when they got poked down, EDG were able to use the Ocean Soul's healing to top themselves off.
And so that's why Ocean Soul is so powerful in this specific context, especially. Because while it's not what it used to be, it's still exactly enough for what EDG needed to accomplish.
Finally, with the Elder Dragon coming up, Damwon threatened it, hoping to get the fight they wanted, but EDG took down Canyon, and with his smite out of the equation, securing Dragon was easy. From there, EDG took their victory lap, grabbing Baron and shoving in before resetting for a final team fight.
Do they have it in them? In order to close this one out right here, there is one turret between EDG and history right now as Viper dashes forward. Showmaker goes golden, but it's not going to keep him alive. Mako is going to be the sacrificial lamb, but it's a double kill already for Flandre. Lightning rushing his way out of this one, and now the Nexus is exposed. Damwon Kia are limping, and EDG have the man advantage. The Nexus will go down, and against all odds, EDG will be your 2021 World Champions.
They've done it!
The 2-minute sequence that started with the Baron Sneak and ended with the Ocean Drake could have resulted in 2 different timelines. In one, a repeat Damwon win sealed the narrative of a resurgent career, and a retiring legend won a well-earned championship. In the other, the excellence of the LPL now shone through perennial Worlds disappointments Edward Gaming and their long-hauling veterans Mako and Scout. EDG made history at Worlds 2021. They exercised their demons by making it past quarterfinals, and they did it by playing a record 15 games in the knockout stage. When they beat Damwon in Game 5, it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't because of some sneaky strategy or weird draft. It was because they played as a team, communicated well, and when they saw the chance to hand Viper his Aphelios, they did. And he didn't miss.
Even though he probably thought that he was never going to get this champion, he picks it up and he's like, all right, this is the I'm going to win champion, and then he wins. Something about that confidence and that ability to just realize I'm the one that's going to have to win this game and then doing it, that is so hard in a Game 5 in the world final of all games. Like, it's just nuts, man.
And Damwon, the team that many felt were unbeatable in the 5v5, was shown that the worst fights are the ones that you absolutely must take, especially if you can't really see the enemy team when the fight begins. A 2-minute sequence in Game 5 gave the LPL the revenge they sought for Worlds 2020. It gave EDG fans something they dared not to hope for, and it meant that Mako and Scout were truly and finally rewarded for their loyalty to the org. But something else it did was remind us that when it comes to League of Legends, the narrowest of margins can mean everything. That when 2 teams at the top of their regions clash, every second counts. On the next episode of Every Second Counts, presented by Cisco, we're going to break down the most infamous moment from the Stockholm Major.
And it's simple and bit. Times it to perfection. And Simple sitting. No! Disaster! An absolute disaster!
That was it!
That
was the
it,
game!
Chad, that was it!
It's the tragic shot that almost changed CSGO history. Check it out on January 26th.